Bob here, carrying on about those that want you to think also want you to thrive, and those that don't. So everything, and these days everything is too easy. Everything is right at your fingertips. It's the information age. So you can get on your computer or your phone, your smartphone, and collect up information on how to do anything, how to think about anything. And that's, let me take that back. Not how to think about it, how to find out information about things. Now, I'm not going to even talk about the reliability of the information. I just want to talk about the ease that you should be able to get access to it. It's a real disservice if you get access to misinformation. That's horrible. That's just a crime. Censorship, keeping information away from you, good or bad, is just. That's just a travesty. That is just a blight on your ability to continue to be a free being. Is if somebody won't give you true information or won't give you access to both sides of a viewpoint, it's a complete disservice. So, but that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about initially is the ease of things. It's so easy to get information that we often don't even think. We don't even engage our brains into thinking about and solving problems and using critical thinking. So, and that's one of the dangers. That's one of the disadvantages of having access to so much information, is that we stop exercising our muscles, our critical thinking muscles of how to weigh out information and come up with a decision. And that, strangely enough, they had researchers, and this just sounds like one of those silly government research things, but the relationship between thinking and learning. But let me give you an example of that. When I was a young artist going to school way back, I won't even say when, in Arizona State University, learning art history, I had to, and our art history was names and dates and the style, who was the artist, when was it done, what period was it done in, what's the name of the style. That was kind of the test, so when there was an exam coming up about this information, you had to be able to fill in those blanks, right? Well, what I did, because I didn't find it horribly interesting at the time, was the day before the exam, I would sit down and do cramming, what we called cramming, which was basically trying to shove stuff in your brain so that you could regurgitate it out the next day at the exam. And that just meant rote learning. That meant, what it meant for me was getting a hold of some kind of stimulant, whether it was nicotine or something stronger, clearing off my desk completely and getting the textbook so they cleared the desk off so I didn't get distracted while I was kind of pinging on whatever the kind of stimulant I was doing. And rotely going through and just trying to absorb that information, not connecting to it, not thinking about it at all, just cramming it in there, right? And then the next day, you'd go to the test, and the information, those topics that had to come out, would just somehow it would just come out of the pencil. As you're writing, it just kind of spilled back out because you had crammed it all in there, right? And then the next day, you kind of took the pencil and you let it leak back out, and it came out and it went away. So because I never thought about it. All I did was I shoved it in there. I put no thought whatsoever into it, and then it leaked right on back out onto the paper, and maybe I got a passing grade on the exam, which was my goal. But a greater goal would have been to think about this stuff, and that's thriving. All that stuff that I studied, I don't remember any of it because I didn't think about it. I didn't know. Had I taken the time, which would have been more responsible, to take that information and think about it, roll it in there. This artist was alive during this period in time, and politically and economically, and what was his environment or her environment? What was the art talking about? What was the movement at the time? All of that would have been thoughts about culturally what was happening and what was that art reflecting. And that's the significances of that would help me remember what that artist was about, when it was, and how it relates to other things in time and the relationships about it, which is valuable information about understanding humans and humanity and what the art was truly saying, not just knowing the date and the classification that was given and how it all fit together. I would still remember that stuff, and it would still be useful to me in what I'm doing in my life, but I wasted the opportunity because I didn't really think about it. I just kind of rotely did it. So that's the danger of having access to information but not thinking about it. Get the t-shirt so that you think and thrive.